The Viv's about 10 years old now. And this Viv is 4 foot by 2 foot, 1 foot 9, and it's a modular Viv. This is the bottom part of the Viv, which is intended initially for Shinisaurus, but I've been used for all sorts of other things since. You can see it's lined with butyl, and you can see that it's got outputs and inlets there for water, and the white thing is an overflow pipe. It's 7 or 8 inches deep. It's not hugely deep, but it's just enough for the Shinisaurus to get properly wet and to hide. You can see the outflows there from the pond into the filter. It's got that square top there, and underneath you can see where the pipes connect to the inside via the butyl, and then are channeled outside. So there's a little gap between the bottom of the V and the bottom of the pond itself. The white thing that you saw then is the overflow, just in case, because I had it outside for a while, and if it rained a lot it would have meant flooding. This unit sits on top of the base. It's made from twin wall polymer. You can see the top here on the pond is square shaped, and that's 16 millimeters, and the base of this one has a channel that fits on it, and it's 20 millimeters wide, so it locks in really well. The front there is plastic domestic house cladding, and the sides are my favourite 10 millimeter twin wall polycarbonate, just screwed and glued together just like all my other ones. The top's got some mesh there of different sizes to let hot air out, because in the summer it can get warm. The glass slides on, just regular twin groove aluminium runners, which you can get from any hardware shop, but there's nothing special. And the top part is an invert of that, and you can see the 2 screws there where you can take the front off to put the glass in. That is a 27 millimeter screw fitting with the cable and the wire, and the socket, which is an XLR socket, fits into the electronics unit. Because it's copolymer, I can start drilling it and screwing it very easily to fix things to it. It's in position here now, and along with one of the lids, the top surface units, I've got a UV lamp there which I've dropped to be closer to the bottom to get the right eye view level, and you can see that's also got an XLR socket for connecting to the electrics unit. This is the electrics unit now, and you can see the 3 sockets on the right, 2 LEDs there for providing general background light. They're quite bright, good nice little lamps. And this is a plant pot which I've used as a reflector. What I've done is I've taken it and I've lined it with aluminium, stick-on aluminium tape, which reflects the halide lamp. It's a G9 halide lamp. It's a lovely little lamp from Philips. It's a ceramic light, produces lots of lovely light, but there's no standard fittings for them for our trade, so I thought I'd have a go at making one. And it's simple and it works really very well. Just coming up now, we could see the temperature controller for my hot rock, and that's controlled by a thermostat which comes on a lead, which again plugs in, and that's the dimmer for my tungsten halogen lamp, which we saw the fitting just a few moments ago. Over here are 2 timers, one for the blue end, the short wavelength end, the blues and the UVs, and the other one is for turning on the lamps that are the redder ends, and including the lamp on the dimmer. Now you can see them switched on. The electronic unit's fitted on the top, and you can see the lovely halide there. you can see the flood tungsten infrared lamp. Well, it's not infrared, it's a tungsten lamp that's poking out infrared, and the two LEDs to give brightness to the rest of the Viv. I'm also getting light from the windows there, and here you can see me twiddling the dimmer, and the light goes brighter and dimmer as I twiddle. And the UV lamp there, it's not a big lamp, but it's enough to give a background lamp for whatever kind of animals I have in there. You can see the display there, and you can see the timers on top. That's the thermometer. That is, if I had plugged in my hot rock, then that would be controlling the hot rock to come on and come off at a predetermined temperature. Otherwise, it tells me the temperature of the Viv wherever I put it, and I might put it in the vicinity of the basking spot. On a sub note, this is lined with butyl, which I did. This is probably 10 years old, and I lined it with butyl, and you can see that it shrank and it's lifted out from the section of the wood. The joint is still strong, which is a polymer, one of the polymer glues, but the joint is still strong, but you can see how the butyl has shrunk. If I was redoing this now, I would use a different material. These two test boxes have been outside for well over a year, and these are basically flooring, lino, which I've just cut into a square and glued the joints. Just glued them, nothing special. I'm just testing them to see how they're working. There's two different ones. They're both copolymers. One of them is a brand I've forgotten, and the other one is the Gorilla Glue, and they're both holding out. I think this is the Gorilla Glue. It's still waterproof, and I'm looking for it parting. No, it's still looking good. That's a goodly joint. I don't know which I'd prefer. They're both. That one's neater. Anyway, if I was lining a Viv again, I'd do it with this flooring idea, and I did my 8-foot Viv using that idea. I think it works a treat. It's dead cheap, dead simple, and these were cut-offs from the local carpet factory. These will be out here for another while yet.